Hi everybody, my name is Jeanette, and I wanted to talk to you about a disease that affects 280 million people currently all over the world, affecting currently 5% of adults and 5.7% of people over the age of 60. It is the fourth leading cause of death among people between the age of 15 and 29. This disease is depression. And first, I'm going to talk to you about the types of depression that there are. Second, I'm going to talk to you about the ways that it affects not only your family, but also your friends and people in your life. And lastly, I'm going to be talking to you about ways that you can cope with this horrible disease. That is, if you suffer with it. Before I go into the statistics and the information about depression, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my situation. So, for the last almost 10 years, I have been suffering with major depressive disorder, and this disorder, it really, at some point in my life, took up a lot of time. You know, I had my mother who was very concerned, and, my ex-husband didn't know how to help me. And when they didn't know how to help me, my mom felt really bad for not knowing what to say. And my ex-husband, divorced me because he just couldn't deal with having to try to help me and not knowing how. But as I got older and as I started to learn how to cope with the depression. I got therapy. There were times where it was so bad that I thought I could kill myself. But then I might be a little bit stronger than people who aren't able to do that. I was very understanding that I had people in this world who loved me more than I hated my life at the time. And I still struggle with this disease even today. But through therapy and through an amazing support group with my friends and my family, I've learned to live with this disease. And I don't call it my depression because it is not what defines me. But there are some people out there who do believe that. And if you are suffering from depression, there are ways to get help. But before I go on and on and on about, how it's affected me, let me go ahead and tell you. Like I said, I was going to tell you that there are 9 different forms of depression. So the more common ones that we know of are, like I said, major depressive disorder, which is the one that I suffer from. You have bipolar disorder. You have situational depression. And the ones that are, there's also postpartum depression, also known as peripartum disorder or depression. The ones that are less common but are very well alive are going to be persistent depressive disorder, psychotic depression, atypical depression, and treatment-resistant depression. And no one really knows what they have until they go to their doctor or they go see a psychiatrist to be diagnosed properly. Even though they do have a lot of the same kind of symptoms, there are things that are different about them. And, you may be asking yourself, do I have depression? Well, let me give you a couple symptoms that you might be experiencing that may or may not be the cause of a depression. There is exhaustion, there is poor sleep, weight loss, there is canceling your plans or mood swings, there's a lack of energy, or there is also a lack or a loss of things that used to make you happy and that you were interested in. You may find it very hard to concentrate because you just can't get out of your head. And you know what? Even though people think that depression is a bad thing, it's okay, because like I said in the very beginning, this affects 280 million people in the world. And now we can go into the way that this affects family and friends. Your family and your friends may not tell you, but there may be a sense of guilt more in family members. A parent may feel like they might have been the cause as to why you are depressed. They're going to want to try to fix the problem when all you may need is someone there to listen to you. They worry and they fear, and it grows anxiety in them because are you going to kill yourself? What kind of depression do you have? Like, how is it affecting you, especially when you're not talking about it and you're holding it in? All of this, the fear, it may cause anger in these people, but it's not at you. It's at the shame that they're getting angry with the fact that they can't help you. Aside from like adult family members and friends, this also affects, if you have children, your children. Because when they see that you're depressed, children learn off of these moods, and they're going to take it in and they're going to, build off of it. I have a sister-in-law who suffers from depression as well, and we see every day that this is affecting my niece. And it's not her fault. It's not that she can help it. And studies have also shown that it even goes down to actual babies, infants, that when their mothers are depressed, they're more likely to pick up on it, and they're going to end up being very fussy, or they're going to end up crying a lot more. But don't worry, you can always tell your family and your friends what you need if you know what it is that you need from them in this moment. In that moment when they feel like they can't help, you can help them figure it out. And that can be just by saying, I need you to listen to me, or I need you to just let me rest a little. There are many ways that you can cope, and I'm going to go into a couple of them right now. So you're going to want to do things that make you feel good. You're going to want to do things that challenge you to get up. You're going to want to get moving in the morning. It's going to be really hard to get in bed because you're somewhere very comfortable and warm. You want to get out there in the sunlight. You want to try and do things that used to make you happy, that you feel that you can't do anymore. Eat a healthy diet, because it is found that a healthy diet helps to better improve your mood. And with me and therapy and working with many, many people over the last 9 years, I found that my way of going and getting over my depression when it starts to come on is using my senses. I smell the air. What do I smell? What am I feeling? What do my pants feel like? What do I see? What do I hear? And if there's something that you can taste, what do you taste, or what kind of taste are there in the air? That works for me. That helps me get my mind off things that are currently bothering me. If you feel like you are struggling with depression, it's okay, because there are so many resources these days that you can go and get help from. You can go see a therapist. You can see a doctor. Let them know you're not the only one. They have heard it all. And remember, there is always a way to be happy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm Jeanette Trejo. Have a good night.